Hey kiddos, today we're going to pick up with our electron configuration lesson, and now we are going to incorporate some elements from the F block. By the way, let's go ahead and review the names of these elements in these different blocks because we haven't really spent a whole lot of time doing that. So over here in the S block you have two different kinds of metals, okay? So I'm not 100% sure if I went over where our metals and our nonmetals are. On the regular periodic table, there's this heavy bold line down this purple P block that separates all of the metals on the periodic table from the nonmetals, okay? So in the S1 column, we have what's called alkali metals. So if you've heard of alkali batteries, there's like the lithium ion batteries, there's potassium, there's also sodium, but the main type of batteries that you may have heard of are like the lithium ion batteries. Well, that's an alkali metals. Then there are alkaline metals. That's in the S2 column. These are found in the Earth's crust, and you have things such as calcium, magnesium, beryllium, strontium. Notice that I never said anything about hydrogen and helium. These are not metals at all, okay? They're just over here because they're a little strange, and they, electron configuration wise, their electron configuration is over here, but that's about it, okay? Hydrogen kind of reacts like these alkali metals, but moving on. These are your alkaline earth metals, so there are also alkaline batteries, like your regular Duracell Energizer batteries. Those are alkaline, and those are made up of these types of metals. Then you have the D block, and everything in the D block is called a transition metal. The F block, because it's sort of a subset of the transition metals, these are called inner transition metals. Almost all of these are radioactive. Okay, and then we have over here in the P section, there's really only two groups that we need to know. These where fluorine is at, and all in that column, these are all called halogens. And then in this P6 column, and including helium, we have what's called the noble gases. We're going to talk about those when we get into the noble gas configuration. Okay, so let's try to do an example of a metal that is in the D section, just to do a quick review of that. So let's try palladium right here. Okay, so let me make sure I got the right color. Change my size. So palladium's right here. It's number 46. So when I give you guys a quiz or a test, I'll give you the element symbol, and I'll also give you the atomic number. So you can not only check your answer, but you can also tell where it is on the periodic table, and you're not searching, because I'm not going to make you memorize the entire periodic table. So, electron configuration. I'm going to do one quick run through where I'm actually drawing lines, okay, but this will be the last time you see that. So our first stop is going to be right here at 1s2. The next stop, following atomic number sequence, is right here at 2s2. Remember, we've got to go across the periodic table, make our next stop at 2p6. Our next stop will be over here at 3s2. That stopped at element number 12, so we pick back up in this section, and our next stop is 3p6. Our next stop will be at 4s2. Running out of room. Okay, the next stop is 3d10. And then I'm just going to move down and continue. So the next stop is 4p6. Next stop is 5s2. And then our last stop is 4d8. Okay, so let's check to see if we did this right. Let's see, we have 4, 10, 12, 18, 20, 30, 36, 38. 38 plus 2 is 40, so then 6 more makes 46, and sweet, that's our atomic number, so we did this right. Let's also make sure that we use the right numbers in the D section, because if we didn't, then we still got it partially wrong. So let's see, did I do 3D? I did the 3Ds after the 4, and then after the 5, I did a 4. So yeah, we're good, okay? Now, if you have questions, and this is being presented in class, you can ask your questions now. If you are at home, you may want to continue watching this video, and it might clear up some of your questions, okay? Or you're more than welcome to email me. Now, let's try an element that's down here. Okay, this is as long as these will get. Actually, I lied. The longest one would probably be element 112. And by the way, I had no credit in this, but scientists have discovered up to element number 118. So honestly, this is just not an updated periodic table. That's why that 7th row is missing, but it's okay. If you get the gist of this, you can do any element, okay? So let's move on to, what did I do? Okay, so let's move on to an element from that F section. By the way, I gotta ask y'all to write on your periodic table one more time. This will be the last thing you have to write. So we've marked our periodic table up like this, and now before we do an element in the F section, we need to know when we go to the F section, okay? So I want you guys to notice something. Do you see element number 56? And do you notice that right beside it is element number 71? Well, I guess that means we need to check and see where 57 through 70 are, and there they are. They're in the F section. So what you're going to do is, with a highlighter, okay, these are not highlighters, and I didn't make them transparent, so I'm going to do this a little bit differently, but with a highlighter, you're going to want to get 2 highlighters, okay? If you don't have highlighters, get 2 different colors of pens, all right? And you're going to do the following. With one color, okay, I'm going to use green for my first color. You are going to highlight this box, which has number 56 in it. Now, if I highlight this whole thing, look what happens. It's really just coloring over it. So for the purposes of me demonstrating this for you, I just have to box it in, okay? But you can highlight through it because it's transparent. Then I want you to highlight number 57 in the same color. Do not, if you're using a pen and you're outlining it like I am, do not cover up your column numbers. So now, that should be enough, right? But I want this to be foolproof. So in addition to that, I want you to draw a line from number 56 to 57, okay? Seriously, it's going to help you because the next day you do more practice, you may just like totally forget, and there's going to be that extra reminder that, oh, I have to go all the way down there, okay? You'll thank me for that later. And then we need to highlight the next section, which is number 88 and number 89. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. 88's one color, 89's the same color. I'm going to draw my line, trying to be really careful. So now I have 2 different places where I have to go down to the F section. All right, well, let's implement this with an example. Let's try, I don't know, let's go big or go home. Let's try lead, okay? Way over there. So lead is PB number 82. A lot of kids call it peanut butter because of its symbol. By the way, little fun fact, lead, it was discovered like way back when the scientists spoke Latin. And so lead is actually the symbol for its Latin name, which is plumbus. So in case you were wondering, like, why do these things not correspond? Well, it's because lead used to be called plumbus. Iron, Fe, used to be called ferrous, so, or ferricium or something like that. So that's the reason why. Okay? So let's do our configuration. By the way, not a weird freak of nature, but I can do this really fast, and just to get through this, I'm going to do it kind of fast, okay? So I'm not drawing lines this time. I'm just going to write down our configuration. Then I'll slow down when we get close to the F section. All right, so going in order of atomic number sequence, we write 1s2, 2s2. Oh, you know what? I forgot to ask you to pause, and so I need you to pause so you can try this on your own before you watch me do it. Okay, so pause it, And then watch me do this, okay? All right. So now I'm going to continue. So after 2s2, there's 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, don't forget it changes to 3, 3d10, 4p6, all right, we're not done, 5s2, 4d10, 5p6, and then we get to the row where things change, okay? So now we're at the 6th row. Remember, this isn't just the row. It's really the energy level that these electrons are on. So when we get to 6s2, what happens? I can't hear you, so I'm going to answer. But we go down to the F section now. So now, our next stop, we're looking for element number 82. So this goes 57 to 70. Got to go to the stop. We're going to write down 4F14. And then, where did that stop? Number 70. So where's number 71? Right up here. Well, our element's not there either, so our next stop is at 5D10. And then our final stop is right here, and it changes back to a 6 now, 6P2. Okay? Wow, that's a lot of exponents. Let's add them up and see if we got this right. Okay, because I am your teacher, but I can still make mistakes. Let's double check. All right, so 2 plus 2, 4, 10, 12, 16, 18. Nope. That's 20. All right, so 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 20, 30, 36, 38. I'm going to try to work smarter, not harder. So 38, 40, 56, 60, 70, 82. Okay, you can add them up in order, but I was just trying to do my mental math a little easier. It did add up to 82. I do notice that after 4s2, I used the correct number for my D sections. I did it here and here, so I'm good. So, all right, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to have to do this on the test? Yeah, maybe just one, but yeah, hate that, but yeah. So, I wish there was an easier way, don't you? Guess what? There is, and that's going to be in our next video, all right?